Sean Zattel here with my man King Robert Meriwether III, fighting on the Zuffa card this Sunday on Paramount Plus once again after winning on the inaugural Zuffa card. Robert, what's up, man? Good to see you. First question for you, man. Going back, reviewing the fight against Correa, he hung in there after you were really getting off on him in the early rounds, and then he made it a good fight down the stretch. What did you see in rewatching that fight?
I just see what I can improve on. In this camp, I feel like I've definitely improved, and feel like I've seen my weaknesses in not being able to get him out of there in that fight. I feel like it was just some things that if I would have stepped on the gas a little bit more, or just letting my hands go a little bit more last fight, I would have got him out of there. So, just I went back to the gym, went back to the drawing board, and learned on that, and was doing that in sparring all camp. So I just feel like it's gonna be a way better performance this fight.
Yeah, so do you mean more combinations? And I think correct me if I'm wrong, Andre in the commentary was talking about staying to the body consistently too to get him out of there. Was that a few of the things you mean specifically?
Yeah, for sure. And as well, like Dre said as well, like just get into another gear, kick into another gear. He said I was stuck in gear first gear, so get into that next gear and just picking it up and combinations and letting my hands go a little bit more. I just feel like I would have got him out of there a little bit easier. But I can't really dwell on the past. It's just what I got coming up Sunday.
Yeah, speaking of Andre, I know you were the first prospect to go on Max's show after your win. Have you had a chance to talk with Dre outside of the fight, outside of the commentary, and pick his brain a little bit for knowledge?
Yeah, I talked to him at the last Zuffa event at Zuffa 4. So after the fight, I sat there with him and then Max, and we were just talking about just how to become a better fighter and staying in the gym. So, just being around him and being around guys like him is it's definitely a a blessing to be around Dre.
What's something, if anything, you can share that he gave you tips on to improve as a fighter?
I mean, to be honest, he just said stay in the gym. He sees my potential. He sees that I can be a future star. So he just said stay focused and stay in the gym.
Troy Hirsch is also from Oakland, like Andre is. What do you see in this fight? And do things like that performance of the night bonus, does that loom in your head a little bit for these fights against the Troy Hirsch?
Um, yeah, I mean, I I definitely do like my last fight. I had my mind set on that just to be able to get that performance bonus. I feel like I told the guys in the fighter meeting that I was gonna get the performance bonus just because I got the confidence in myself to perform like I will. And in this fight, I mean, I'm gonna show it again that I deserve um to be in the names with bigger guys and you know be able to get prospect of the year and become a contender.
Did how good did that feel? You know, at just fresh 20 years old, you were just a teenager not too long ago to have some good little change in your pocket, man, so to speak, after getting that kind of bonus.
I mean, it's much needed.
Yeah.
I've never been able to even see money like that before. So just be able to get something like that and then just I feel like it's added fuel to my fire already. I've had setbacks. I've had just a little problems on the road, but I feel like that last fight definitely added.
Yeah, added that fuel, like you said. But well, okay. So taking it back, the setbacks and everything, you were fighting under pro box for a little bit, and then Floyd as well. Um, what was that like? That like when you had to leave Mayweather Promotions when Floyd did the mitts with you since you were a teenager. You got a lot of your good sparring in that gym and grew up as a teenager into a young man in that gym. What was that like when that decision had to be made for you and your dad?
I mean, it was it was an easy decision because we was I wasn't getting any fights. So, I just had to be able to be, active, and without activity, I wasn't really progressing. So I just was in the gym. It was constantly in the gym, not really getting not having any goals in mind. Just staying in the gym. I was sparring all top guys. I was sparring like Keyshawn, Shakur at the time. So Jorge Linares. So, sparring top guys, but I didn't really have a fight or any type of date coming up. So, um, I had to get out of that situation. I did. And then, now we're here.
Back to your fights, man. What do you have the four knockouts and 10 wins? Obviously, your grown man strength is still coming along, but they do say punchers are born. Do you think you'll develop into with more power? And do you see yourself getting a stoppage in this fight, or are you not necessarily a puncher and you have a lot of other attributes to where that's not necessary that you have to be a puncher?
I mean, I don't have to be a puncher. I feel like I'm a beautiful boxer, but I've been in the PI, I've been in the UFC PI for this camp, so we'll see.
Do you see yourself getting a stoppage in this fight against Troy
Yeah, for
Hirsch?
sure, for sure.
Who have well, you did a lot of great sparring throughout the years. Who have you been sparring the last couple months in the PI?
I mean, I've been sparring all types of guys. We brought some guys in, and then for at the end of camp, I ended up sparring with my guy Troy Nash.
Hmm.
So it's just great. It's great work, and I feel like we were able to you know become better fighters, both of us. So I just feel like I'm gonna have a great performance.
Yeah, and he's fighting on this card too, and he's a tall kid. So I know he's got a little bit of reach, a little bit of height. So how good was that? How good was that work?
It was much needed. I feel like he's a great boxer himself. So I was able to kind of see what he's doing, and it was also helpful for him as well. We both great boxers, so it's kind of it's needed for both of us just to be able to become great fighters. And you know, I just feel like his style is gonna help me for this fight.
When you talk about showing out and showing that you're ready for bigger fish and everything, long term, do you still have a mindset of going for the traditional titles, or are you just focused on being the best lightweight on the Zuffa roster?
I mean, for right now, my goal is the Zuffa circuit right now. I'm not
Hmm.
really worried about what's going on after outside of Zuffa. My whole goal right now is the Zuffa belt and the ring belt. I've said it before, so I'm standing on that. Is what I got going on is my goal, and future you don't know I don't know what the future holds for me, but after I do accomplish my goals now, I mean, I could go with all the other sanctions.
Yeah, we'll see how that all works itself out anyways. It may work itself out in a way people can't foresee right now. So, we don't know what the future holds. But back to Floyd, man. Do have you seen this fall? I mean, you're training, it's fight week for you, so this stuff is not occupying your mind, but did you see the fallout with the Pacquiao stuff? And do you feel like at 49, Floyd would still beat Manny in a real fight, not an exhibition?
I seen it yesterday, I think, but I mean, to be honest, I just feel like styles make fights. So I feel like Floyd is stylistically would beat Manny just because of boxing IQ, but Manny's been in the ring, and I feel like he's been a little bit more active than Floyd. So at the end of the day, we don't know. And I don't know. Pacquiao wants a real fight, and Floyd wants an exhibition. So we'll see how that works out.
I don't know if these phrases still hold true, but the old cliches used to be the first thing to go is your legs, and the last thing to go is the power. So I don't know. In that way, with them almost 50, is that actually an advantage for Pacquiao? In addition to, like you said, fighting more actively in real fights like the Barrios fight last year.
In that Barrios fight, he looked like a shell of himself, but he did look like he had some speed still. So at an older age, and that's very impressive. So I don't know. I mean, I went back and forth with some people on it. I still like Floyd on it, but you know, Pacquiao did look like a good fighter last fight.
Is Floyd still a resource you could reach out to, even though the business is long gone between you guys? But on that level, is he still a guy? If you need some insight into your performances and stuff, are you still able to reach out?
Nah, I mean I've been talking to Floyd. I've been talking to Floyd since I left the promotion. So uh it's bittersweet, but I
Yeah,
mean it is what it is.
yeah, it is. Well, what was probably the best thing you did learn from him, though?
Um, I mean his he has a great boxing IQ. You can't never take that away from him, even outside of boxing, whatever is going on outside of boxing. But he has a great boxing IQ, so he knows what he's doing. He's a hard worker. So I always take that with me, just being a hard worker and staying in the gym and, just being able to use my boxing IQ to become a better fighter. So that's what I've taken from him.
I know you sparred amongst these four: Keyshawn, Tank, Devin, and Shakur. I'm just gonna mention each of their names, and then you tell me to you what their best attribute was from your experience with them. Keyshawn Davis.
His will, I ain't gonna lie, he's crazy. I ain't gonna lie. He's like a weird fighter. So I feel like I think he has the most dog out of those guys, if I were to say.
Gervonta.
Easily power, easily. But he also he has great IQ. I feel like he has out of these four, I think he has like the second best IQ, maybe number one. He might be tied with Shakur,
Shakur Stevenson.
and that's boxing IQ. In distance too. I feel like he has a great distance. I'm learning from him with distance, but um yeah, IQ and distance for sure.
Devin Haney.
And then Devin, I gotta give him the jab. He has a great jab. A lot of people try to go against me. They say Shakur has a better jab, but I just feel like it's like 1A, 1B.
All right, now here comes the tough part for you, okay? And full disclosure, I know you damn well have respect for all four of them and what they've already accomplished and their skills. Rank them 1 through 4 for me if you can.
Things going through a lot, so I don't know. I would put him in number one, but he hasn't fought, and his last performance wasn't that great. But whatever. Uh uh his last performance wasn't that great. So right now, if we speaking specifically right now,
Or really more from
as
your
we're sitting right
experience.
here,
Not their
or are we talking about experience?
like you in the ring with them. This is who I think was the
Okay,
best 1 through 4.
okay. I gotta go. I gotta go. Tank, Shakur, Dev, Keyshawn.
Mm,
Yeah, yeah. That's
that
the.
and I'm sure it's close between each of the four,
I mean,
right?
it's close, but
Yeah.
I feel like the top two are like kind of like that's a bigger drop off from the 1, 2 is bigger drop off than 3, 4 because I feel like Keyshawn and Devin was like this, and then with Tank and Shakur, I feel like they're far beyond those two.
Well, I appreciate the ranking. I do, especially when you know these guys, and I know it's guys get upset if you put one or the other. So I appreciate it, Robert. So then why so head to head, you would actually give a focused and prepared Tank who's not going through all this stuff he's going through right now, self-inflicted, whatever, but you would give him the edge over Shakur, not necessarily because styles make fights.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like Tank is gonna be if we got a really like strong-willed, strong-minded Tank that we know can be great, then I feel like he would beat Shakur because you can't tell me that he's not going to land not one punch against Shakur in 12 rounds. I know Shakur has a great defense, but I mean, uh, Tank has crazy pop and he has crazy power, and he's not going to go in there like with without a game plan. So I feel like his game plan should be able to get past the barrier that Shakur puts up. But I mean, I got Shakur. I got Tank.
All right, man. Thank you, brother. And we will see how prime Robert Meriwether, which is you're only 20, so we'll see how prime Robert Meriwether if he could beat
21.
all. Oh, there you go.
21. I just turned 21, so soon you're gonna be seeing me step up and become a top guy.
Hey, have a good fight Sunday, Robert, and always a pleasure to catch up with you, man. Best of
I
luck.
appreciate it.
Thanks,
Appreciate it.
guys.